So Mark Zuckerberg is announcing that Meta will replace all of their independent so-called fact checkers and replace them with a system that is similar to X Twitter to combat the heavy censorship on the platform. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Mark Zuckerberg announcing that Meta will replace all of their independent so-called fact checkers that may have censored you in the past with a system of community notes. Now, this is what Twitter, now known as X, does. Basically, a post goes up and the community of people, you, I, just regular normies, are able to collaboratively fact check it in real time with real information, rather than these independent so-called fact checkers that are often just kind of enforcement arms for leftist propaganda, enforcement arms of online censorship. And the thing about the fact checkers is, if you get fact checked, it can affect your page. You could get downranked. You can have your posts hidden. You might get completely banned from the platform altogether because the so-called independent fact checker said so. But with community notes, it gives the general public more insight as to what's going on, rather than just having some random person in some random country say, oh, no, we can't have that, and censor you. That is the objective from what I'm able to see. Now, he's going to talk a lot more about it, but this is not the first time that Meta, Facebook, Instagram, etc. has basically copied whatever Twitter is doing. You could say whatever you want about Elon Musk, but he's a trailblazer in this space, because a lot of the things that he has done, Facebook and other platforms have copied. Now, look, Meta Verified is one of the main things that they copied straight away, because remember the whole thing with $8 you could pay to become verified on X Twitter? I still pay for it. I think it's a good resource. It's not that much money per month. I pay for it annually. It's fine. And the same thing with Meta Verify. I pay for that too. So with this service, you're able to pay. You see that blue check? You're able to pay for that. Now, some are going to say, oh, why would you pay for it? That's loser behavior. Actually, it's not loser behavior, because this cost me $15 a month. But in previous times, especially on a place like Twitter, you would go through a back channel and pay a lot more to get verified. $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. That kind of thing was going on behind the scenes over at Twitter before Elon came on. And Facebook, I don't even know how much you had to pay. But the $15 for me, or however much it is on Twitter, is definitely worth it. But this was the first thing that they kind of copied from Elon. Also, you have this content monetization program where you can get paid for anything you post on Meta, the same as Twitter. Well, Facebook specifically. On Facebook, you're able to get paid for stories. You're able to get paid for regular text posts, for pictures, reels, videos, everything. Before, it was just videos, putting ads on the videos. But now you're getting paid for everything. Why? They want to incentivize you to stay on the platform and make content so others will stay there and watch the content. Because if the people who are watching the content are there longer, then Facebook, Meta, whatever, they're able to generate more revenue. So let's get to what he said here about the new system that's going to be in place, and probably a few other things. And of course, I will link to this video in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Hey everyone. I want to talk about something important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more.
Now, that is a direct shot at the federales for the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing, because Facebook, Twitter, everywhere censored that. And, you know, that's a point of contention. But really, the reason why that happened is because the federales put the pressure on them to do it. They made them do that. And now we, the people, are fighting back against the federales and any other form of censorship.
A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
So what do you hear when you hear him say that? Oh, well, we got Trump back in office. I need to do things that are going to be more palatable to this administration. That's kind of what I hear. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, good thing, but it's a thing.
So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US.
I'm glad that he acknowledged that he got that from X.
After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created.
I'm glad you can admit that, because I've been fact checked by some of these so-called fact checkers, and my page is still not right. Hey, Mark Zuckerberg, if you can hear the sound of my voice, can my page get restored back to normal? I mean, really, it's still some stuff going on with that, but I digress.
Especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far.
One thing about the whole thing about gender, things of this nature, I don't even post videos on Facebook or Instagram that go too far into the LGBTQ LMNP X, Y, and Z space. I don't even post them on there. I post them on YouTube, but not over there, because I know automatically they're going to try to do something funny with my page, and I'm trying to get monetized over there, and it's not really happening, and I know that would just set me back. So it's like, what's the point? It's almost to the point where I don't want to post on there anymore, and I think I'm not the only one that feels that way, which is why they got to do things to get people back on the platform. Good quality content creators back on the platform, because we're the ones who keep the people watching. We keep the people scrolling, and the more people scroll, the more money they make. The less they scroll, the less they make. So they're trying to get us back into the fold, in my humble opinion.
So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
Define bad stuff. What does that mean? Because you're talking about illegal stuff, child exploitation, somebody trying to sell heroin online, or somebody trying to sell weapons, somebody trying to commit a terror attack. Okay, that's one thing. You want to catch that stuff and get that out of the way. But what else is considered bad stuff? That's what I want to know.
Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Okay, all right. That's interesting. Now, my question would be, are the same people going to be in Texas who were in California, or are we going to get a new batch of people? That would be my question.
As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
I just did a short video about how the police got sent to a man's house in UK because his social media post caused his neighbor to have anxiety. The police came over anxiety.
Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship.
Shots fired at the Biden administration. Shots fired at the Biden administration. I like it, Zuck. I like it.
By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
All right, there we go. So Mark Zuckerberg, the big boss, the triple OG, saying that we're going to reduce censorship on the platform. Meta, of course, that's the umbrella company. You got Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, all that good stuff. Now, as I close, I want to say this. I hope that you're being sincere, Mark Zuckerberg. I hope that we see some really good changes on the platform, because for me, I'm almost to the point where I'm about to give up. I'm like, you know what? They just, you can't make money. You're getting censored. You try to take one step forward, you take 3 steps back. I'm to the point where I'm about to give up. And like I said, there's probably a lot of people out there just like me that say it's not worth it to even spend time posting on that platform. I'll just go to YouTube, really. Twitter is good. I'll go over there and I'll do what I got to do. You guys are just not really it. But hopefully they can make some changes and restore the platform back to a place prior to all this crazy, ridiculous amount of censorship. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you believe Mark Zuckerberg when he says that he wants to get rid of all the censorship and to empower the community and whatnot? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, I'm kind of like halfway. I kind of believe him, but I don't really believe anything until I see it. You could say one thing and you can have great intentions, but what are your intentions and words going to actually manifest into in reality? What are we going to see in a year from now? How much will the platform have changed? That'd be my question. So I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful that he can get this done. But like I said, we're going to see in a few months, maybe a year, what has changed. And we can make a judgment at that point. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.